Joe Biden's family speaks, and they've come out and they've said not only is Joe Biden going to stay in this race, they are forcing him to stay in this race, and Jill Biden is taking over a lot of his marketing and PR as she is on the cover of Time magazine and she's spilling everything about this disastrous debate. And guys, if you want to be kept up to date with us, make sure and subscribe. Click the like to help this channel out. But let's go ahead and dive into this because right now he is with his family at Camp David. So apparently they are there and they have been talking very much in depth and detail about the debate, about what's happened, and about where things are going to go and if he's going to continue. To which they've come out and said he is going to continue. They want him to fight. Apparently even Hunter Biden, the felon. You know, they love to talk about Trump being a felon, but we don't like to talk about Hunter. And we always like to say that what happened with Hunter's laptop and all those issues don't really exist. Hunter is also there advising him, because that sounds like a good plan. So first, let's take a look and see what reports are saying regarding this. And then guys, I want to get into this. We have a ton of info from this Time interview you have to see. Take a look and we'll discuss.
A whole lot to talk about, and we start with News Nation's Libby Dean live in D.C. Libby, what are we learning tonight?
Well, Natasha, what we know is that this meeting between President Biden and his family at Camp David was on the schedule prior to that rough debate performance that we saw on Thursday. But that doesn't undercut the importance of the meeting, given the fact that Biden has relied on his family's input and opinion in his past campaign decisions.
President Biden spending his Sunday at Camp David with family. But the big question looming over the family gathering, should Biden continue his re-election campaign after Thursday's debate performance? A source familiar with the Camp David meeting tells News Nation it will be informal and the topic will be the state of the campaign. But a Biden official pushing back on that narrative, saying that this trip to Camp David has been on the president's public schedule, quote, for weeks. That's as several Democrats made the rounds on Sunday's shows to defend the president.
He should stay in this race. He should demonstrate it going forward. His capacity to lead the country.
One debate does not define a person's record or the kind of person or the situation. It's certainly not about an election that is 4.5 months ago.
Still, there seems to be a separation between what's being shared to the public and what's playing out behind the scenes. According to the Associated Press, a private call of top Democrats Saturday, led by the DNC chair and Biden's campaign manager, led to frustration, with members being asked to, quote, ignore the dire nature of the party's predicament. This, as a new poll out from CBS today shows 72% of registered voters don't think Biden should be running following his debate performance.
Now, timing is key here. Today marks 50 days until the Democratic National Convention. Now, at the moment, Biden's campaign leaning on fundraising numbers, raising $33 million since debate day. And former President Trump's team, we've yet to get totals from them. So this leads to the sign that President Biden might be out raising the former president post-debate, but we'll wait and see in those numbers. Natasha?
Okay, Libby Dean in Washington with that. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching.
And the headline reads, Jill Biden vows not to give up on Joe after disastrous debate as she appears on the cover of Vogue. First Lady Jill Biden is on Vogue's next cover in a gushing profile posted Monday as she vowed not to give up on the 2024 race despite President Biden's disastrous debate performance. Speaking from Camp David, where the Biden family were holed up for the weekend, Jill told the magazine, "We'll not let those 90 minutes define the 4 years he's been president." Wait a minute, I thought she said after the debate that he did so well. Remember? I showed you guys that video where she's really infantilizing him and she's like, Joe, you did so well. You answered every question. We'll keep going. And in case you want to know, guys, here's the cover. She is full on taking on the marketing of this because we know she's behind a lot of this. In fact, he can't seem to even walk unassisted without her help. On a stage, off the planes. So here she is, taking over that marketing. We will continue to fight, she continued in the feature published Monday, claiming that Biden will always do what's best for the country. Will he? Because if that's the case, he shouldn't be running. He needs medical help. And this is the thing I think that drives me the most nuts about this whole situation. Why is nobody getting this man the obvious medical care he needs? I'm not trying to sit here and insult his cognition. I'm not trying to insult anything about him. He needs medical help. And what would be best for the country is if he got it and the right person who is of sound mind and body can do the job. Instead, we're just gaslighting everybody to believe he's perfectly fine, and we know that he's not. And it's putting not just all of us in a dangerous situation, obviously, but him. Why is his family okay doing this to him medically? The First Lady's defiance comes as she faces a firestorm of criticism for not forcing her 81-year-old husband to give up his re-election campaign, following last week's face-off against former President Donald Trump. During the fawning Vogue interview, they call it fawning, in which writer Maya Singer called Jill Biden a great hang. They called her a great hang. The First Lady addressed her sway in her husband's political career. She told the glitzy mag that she pushes the president to take action in so many different areas. Translation, sounds like to me she's saying she's the one in control. So she is controlling this show and she is partially being a puppet master. The question to me is why? I tell him what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing, and he gets it, she said proudly. Does he? I don't know how much he gets at this point. And this is where the magic happens. I guess we're calling it magic. Katie Rogers, a White House correspondent who recently wrote a book about First Ladies, noted Jill Biden's often unnoticed pivotal role. People don't mention her when they talk about Biden's key advisors, but she's his gut check and his closest confidant. Rogers was quoted as saying, "If that's the case, why on earth did they put him in this disastrous situation? The emperor has no clothes." Now, people like me who've been following this for a while and people like you, we've known this, we've been saying it, and we're gaslit every step of the way by people who still believe the media, who in my opinion are akin to a horrible boyfriend who keeps physically hurting you, just keeps believing this crap. So apparently, she's not real good at being the key advisor and the gut checker, no less getting her husband the medical help he actually needs. And she really believes in her husband's ability to get things done for the American people because he can't get through an hour-and-a-half debate. Remember, those 90 minutes will not define him. Girl, if you're the key advisor putting him in this position, you're the one that had those 90 minutes define him because now we know that you guys have been lying to us for so long and making us think that we're crazy, we're bad people just for pointing out what we're seeing, whether they're his supporters or not. That's why she's fighting so hard for him to get a second term, because there are things they've got left on the agenda. And she's told me she'll travel twice as much and fight twice as hard because of the not niceness she sees, especially towards women. So Jill Biden, who is a key advisor, she's his gut check, she says everything that he's seeing and she guides him on all this, is now going to be ramping up her job to try to gaslight all of us that he is okay. The only thing I agree with her on is I am concerned for what's going on with women's health care. But in my opinion, if Democrats were actually concerned about what's going on with reproductive rights, we would get better birth controls and better things on the market that don't make women across the board sick. We would have better care in this country for women who give birth, who are pregnant and afterward, because it's abysmal and the rate of women losing their lives is climbing in this first world country. I'm disgusted. What do you guys think? Tell me your thoughts. Sound off in the comments, guys. If you like this video, please give it a like, give it a comment. Go ahead and subscribe, and I'm going to keep you up to date with how ridiculous this show is.